The FIFA 23 web app is officially here, and this year, despite it being a completely new game, it seems like players are making the exact same mistakes. Some of these mistakes are only costing you a few hundred coins, but in other cases, it is costing you hundreds of thousands, potentially even millions. So to make sure that you're getting the very best start to FIFA 23 Ultimate Team, I'm going to be sharing exactly what you should be doing. But before we do get into the video, if you really are looking to get a head start in Ultimate Team, then in just a couple weeks, Mule Factory will be selling FIFA 23 coins. This will allow you to open the packs you want to open or buy into the players you want to buy. If you are looking to buy coins, then make sure that you are using a link down below, and once you get to checkout, also use Fnatic5 because you'll also get yourself a 5% discount. Link can be found in the description down below. Getting back into the video, I do my best every single year to highlight the mistakes that players are making right at the beginning, because even though I do highlight them, players still make the exact same mistakes every single year. And it's costing you guys so many coins that it's holding you back from being able to open packs or buy into players, depending whatever it is you want to do. And in some cases, it may just be a couple hundred coins here or there, but that really starts to add up. And we also can't forget that this is the beginning of a new Ultimate Team. Think of everything that you can do if you was able to save a couple hundred coins here or there. It's not just a case of saving those coins, but it's also what those coins could eventually lead to. So the first mistake, I've already seen some of you guys saving players which you're probably never going to use. These are cheap, low-rated rare gold players, or in some cases, and in fact a lot of cases, it's just common gold players which they think they're going to use for SBCs or even use for their team later down the road. Now this is a very good way for you to stack your club towards the end of FIFA 22, or even use some of those players to complete SBCs that you're actually going to use the players that you get from. At the beginning of a new FIFA, this is wasted space, and even worse is wasted coins. You could very easily sell those players right now on the transfer market, and even though each common gold player is only going to give you on average about 400 coins, but that's 400 coins that can be used to start trading to build up your coin balance even more, to eventually build to something much better than the player that you initially sold. If that player is someone that you want to buy to use for your team, you can buy them back at a later date for probably the exact same price. If you're not looking to buy them back for your team, but instead to buy them for an SBC, it's the exact same process. It's probably going to be able to buy them back at the exact same price, but now you've been able to use those coins, trade with players, and you've been able to build your coin balance to something far greater. The second mistake, not checking player prices before actually listing these players. And I know this is a very tedious job, especially if you're like me where you do have loyalty packs and you ended up getting around 60 players that you would eventually have to check onto the transfer market. But it's worth doing so. There's a lot of people out there discarding all of their common gold and even rare gold players just because they're low rated. And yes, this is probably what you want to be doing towards the end of an Ultimate Team, but it's not something you want to be doing right at the beginning. A rare gold player will discard around 570 coins, whereas a common gold player will discard around 270, all depending on their rating, as this does fluctuate. But when we look at common gold players, most of them are selling for 400 coins at their minimum. That means you're making an extra 100 coins if you was to list them compared to if you was just to quick sell them. And yet again, it doesn't sound like much, but if you were like me where you did get a number of loyalty packs and it led to you having around 60 players, if all of those were common golds and instead of you just discarding them, you sold them at 400 coins, you've made an extra 6k. That 6k can buy into a good player later down the road, or my preference is for you to start trading with it. But this can also get a hell of a lot better, because there are some players which will be selling for a lot more than 400 coins. In fact, when I was going through this, there were some players which I was taken back by because they were going for thousands of coins. And the only way that I was able to find this out was by going through each player individually, checking their lowest buy now and listing them at that price. If I just listed everyone randomly, me guessing exactly what their price actually is, I would have lost out on a lot of coins as well. So it's definitely worth checking player prices. The third mistake, and this is the opposite to what we've just talked about, but this is people who are listing expensive and desirable players, pretty much anyone above 85 rated. It seems like every year people get it the complete wrong way round. They store the ones which they probably should be selling, and then they sell the ones that they probably should be keeping. The problem with listing desirable players right now is that there simply isn't enough coins on the market. So anyone that's actually looking to buy your players, there's no competition. We're talking about a very small percentage of players which will have enough coins for them to be able to buy into very high rated and so-called expensive players. It's not until FIFA officially releases where people find it easier to play the game because they're no longer dependent on trading to build coins, but instead they're able to generate coins by playing matches and opening packs. This is typically where we see a slight increase in players. We're not talking anything ridiculous. So for example, Lewandowski is listed about 40,000 coins and he may go up to around 50k on the release of Ultimate Edition. This is simply because there are more people that are able to generate coins in the game in a different way. Plus also, this is the time when they're needed. Even though we're playing Ultimate Team and even though we understand the overall goal of Ultimate Team, right now you can only build your team, you can't play with it. So the desire to actually build your team and buy expensive players is a lot lower. But once the game is officially released, that demand is a lot higher, which does force people to actually look to buy into good and even meta players, which will be your high rated as well as other desirable players within the game. So hold on to them because I guarantee you will see a slight increase. The opposite to this, and this is the fourth mistake, is buying and building your team now. Now we did briefly go over this. There's no reason for you to buy your team right this second. In fact, it's recommended to hold off until the 25th or even 26th, the day before the Ultimate Edition is released. Simply because it is a waste of coins. You cannot play with your team right now, so for you to actually put coins into a team, it doesn't matter. You're pretty much just putting coins into a collectible item at that point, which has no use case for you right now. Now, of course, once the game does release, you can use that team, but I guarantee that even if you did spend a bit of time going through SBCs, maybe the bronze pack method, maybe you just start a bit of trading. If you make a few trades here and there, you will end up with a lot more coins than what you currently have, which will be able to buy into a much better team by the time you get to the 25th or 26th or whenever you do buy into your team. If you know that you're not going to be playing on the web app over the next couple of days, then by all means, buy into some of the players that you're looking to play with and actually start to put them in your starting 11. But if you know that you're going to be trying to trade and trying to build up your coin balance and explore the web app, then it is a complete waste. Do not do this. Instead, use your coins on other ways which will make and generate more coins for you. And the last mistake that I'm seeing players make is that they're not trading. Now, I understand trading isn't for everyone, depending how comfortable you are with trading. If you really don't like the idea, you can simply use the bronze pack method. Head over to the store, open a bronze pack, check the player prices, and if they go for more than 200 coins, then it's worth listing them onto the transfer market. You won't be making profit out of every single pack, but if you do this enough and you have enough coins to keep on going through this, you will generate more coins through sales than what it actually costs to buy packs. If you do feel comfortable trading on the game, then by all means go out there and explore and try out all the other different trading methods. You just need to find one which is profitable and you're happy to keep on rinse and repeating so that you can keep on generating coins. If you really want to take it to another level, what you can also do by the time we get to the 25th and 26th, it's no longer just about you building your team, but it can also be about buying into investments. Now, there are already a few players that I've got my eye on, but it all depends whether or not I can build up enough coins to eventually buy into them, or if I see any other potentially better deals between now and when I actually look to invest into different players. Anyway guys, these are just some of the mistakes that I'm seeing players making right this second mentioned using a web app. If you avoid these mistakes, which you should be able to do now that I've highlighted them, you will be in a much better position by the time the Ultimate Edition releases on the 27th, or if you're waiting until the Standard Edition when that releases on the 30th. If you do have any questions about anything, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going. So see ya.